Hey guys, Stealth here and welcome back to the Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts Battleship Tournament. It's 1920s and we are approaching the finals. Right now we're going to be deciding the losers of round number 3, Spain versus France. These two parties have met each other before. That was a victory for Spain. Can they do it again? Or is this going to be the end of the Spanish and will the French find the UK in the finals? Let's have a look and see how this battle develops. It is on. The Spanish are immediately taking a hit from the French. Now, this time around I'm following from the perspective of the Spanish, so I don't have to turn torpedo avoidance on or off. The French hopefully will react to the Spanish torpedoes if it comes to that. We don't know if the San Damaso, the San Luis and the España are going to get into range of their torpedoes. It does spice things up a lot. Because these things hit hard, they're fast, and the French don't have very good damage control when it comes to getting hit by torpedoes. The French do have those really long-range guns, and the potential to pen at least the superstructure and potentially somewhat of the belt of the Spanish ships. So, right now, it's for the moment a slugfest at long range, where the Spanish have numerical advantage of barrels. They have 8 barrels per ship. The French fleet only has 6, but they're 14.9ers, and these are just 14s. It does give the Spanish a nice reload advantage, because the French have that awfully, what was it, 91 second reload? And the Spanish do it in 51 seconds. So their volume of fire is greater, their shells hit potentially slightly less hard, if they're able to pen, and their accuracy is less. But there is something to be said for having more turrets, more barrels, and thus more volume of fire. The French have already closed to within secondary range. You can see quite a bit of 7-inch fire going back and forth between these ships. Oh, we got a partial pen on one of the French. Right through the main deck, but it was not a full pen. Interesting. So at this range, we're looking at about 12 kilometer range. Yeah, you got a 12.8 inch deck pen with AP. And there's another one. The French are already losing some crew. I'm seeing a -10, a -2. The Spanish San Damaso is now taking some damage here. If they keep this up, they're very quickly going to enter that torpedo range that the Spanish probably would love to be at. And where the Spanish guns are going to be more deadly. The French guns, I'd say, don't really need to be more deadly. Because they got plenty of punch as is. The bow belt and stern belt of the Spanish ships are now fair game to the French. But why are they just allowing the Spanish to get so close? This is when I would really like a a ship editor that also includes AI behavior. Pretty much like you have with Stellaris, or at least some Stellaris mods. Where you say, this is a sniper, this has to stay at range X, or this is a brawler, try to close to basically striking distance and just keep pushing in. Something like that, I feel, would be a pretty big upgrade to the game, especially in these AI versus AI fights. It would also very much improve the situation when it comes to campaigns, if you're facing campaign ships that have either been designed by yourself or by other players. Because then, if you give the AI a brawler, and it actually uses it as a brawler, i.e. close the distance and just give those secondary guns a lot of time to fire, that would make the ship a lot more dangerous. Similarly, if you got, let's say, something like the Titan class from my recent campaign series, with 20.9 inch sniper barrel guns, if you will, and you say this ship is designed to be at range. The enemy is supposed to close to within, I don't know, 20 kilometer range, if that, no closer. If they're getting closer, turn around. Good lord, the Spanish are getting hammered. Look at that. The Spanish, especially the San Damaso, is flooding, has lost a turret and the main tower. Thankfully, the range isn't that great anymore, so it's not that big of an impact on accuracy, but this is going to hurt the Spanish effort. Right now, the French have done more damage than the Spanish. But we are not done with this battle just yet. This could be damaging to T-Benator, but the French have a lot of armor. 17-inch main belt plus 142. The Spanish 14-inch main belt plus 132. So their armor quality is slightly less. And both parties are full broadside. So you got 14-inch or 17-inch plus higher quality. Oh, San Damaso had a torpedo destroyed. Not a torpedo launcher by the looks of it. But a torpedo. Is there port launcher available? Yes, it's available, but they got very, very bad firing angles. Very limiting. T-Benator has lost about 5% of her crew. St. Louis has lost none. Gauloise has lost 3%, so it's really not that bad for the French. They're really doing quite well. Another torpedo destroyed aboard the Spanish San Damaso. And just trading fire at 4.5 kilometer range. This would be a really bad time for the Spanish to get hit by the gun bug. So far, I've really only seen it affect, there we go, the Spanish ships. Sometimes they just refuse to fire. And I know they don't have great turret rotation, but about 4 degrees per second should allow these guns to maintain a target lock. Should allow them to keep pointing at the specific target. And sometimes you can just see them rotate pretty quick. And other times they just point at a target and they go, meh. St. Louis, what happened to you, dude? You got hit real hard. And you're half flooded now. Ooh, T-Benator taking a bunch of hits. I think we're seeing a repeat of what happened in the previous battle. The Spanish initially got clobbered pretty hard. They took a lot of damage closing in. And once they actually closed in, you saw the Spanish pretty quickly destroy the French ships. Right now, they haven't even thrown their torpedoes into the fight yet. If they do that, they can add more flooding to the St. Louis, and with that, eliminate one of the French ships. Lots of secondary fire missing the St. Louis. That's interesting. I was expecting, especially at this range, a bit more accuracy than 40%. Look at the, the French, by contrast, 91%. French hard at work, trying to keep the St. Louis alive. The ship has taken so much damage, especially with a flash fire that I apparently completely missed, that all the main turret ammo is gone. So she is now effectively a cruiser, well, arguably a light cruiser even, with 7-inch guns. And that makes this ship far less dangerous. San Damaso taking a whole bunch more damage, including flooding and rudder damage. It looks like the French division's been broken up. T-Benator taking a bunch of damage there, including a bit of flooding on the stern. Gauloise is playing its own game and going off into a different direction. España losing torpedoes. More flooding on T-Benator. If the San Damaso can get her starboard torpedo launcher away, she can inflict a lot of hurt. Oh, but she's getting hurt herself by the Gauloise. T-Benator looking to be flooding. St. Louis looking to be flooding. San Damaso trying to fall back into the formation, letting St. Louis take the lead for at least a little bit. But we have a collision from the Spanish ships here, which I'm not sure is useful to the San Damaso. At least the St. Louis is shielding her from the fire of the Gauloise. But of course the other ships are still very much a threat. Well, not the St. Louis, but the T-Benator, yes. And she is still was trying to kill the San Damaso and switched fire to the St. Louis. The French do some damage here. So casemates are getting destroyed. We're looking at 17k from the Spanish, 10k damage from the French. The French are not out of this fight yet. If they can sink the badly damaged Damaso, they might be able to just reduce the Spanish DPS just enough to make sure that they have at least a chance to win. Oh, that was a big hit on the French Gauloise. The ship is flooding. 3 compartments. Remind me, do they have enough? Yeah, they got many bulkheads, not maximum. Oh, torpedo hit. That's a flooding amidships and 1 damaged engine. Oh, they completely fluffed the shot on the San Damaso. And the San Damaso does the same thing. Completely missing the Gaulois at less than a kilometer range. Serious damage to the secondary tower. Shells ricocheting off the Gaulois. San Luis and España, I think both pounding the crap out of the Gaulois. Oh, destroy the main gun. The Damaso is in a lot of trouble. She's lost 3 of her 4 turrets. Only her stern turret is available. But did she just launch a torpedo? Or was that the torpedo that already hit the Gaulois? Because these things cycle very quickly. Yeah, that was that torpedo probably. Destroyed another casemate. The flooding on the other French ships is under control. Ooh! Gaulois taking a massive volley from the French. Oh, sorry, from the Spanish. And get a flash fire. At least they go out with a bang, but not a good one. Gaulois is out. And I'm afraid that that seals the fate of the French. It's going to be very, very difficult for them to come back from this, especially since they really only have T-Bonator, which actually can deal damage against the ships. She only has main gun ammunition. San Luis, almost adrift, tries... I think tries to evade the Gaulois, but doesn't, and comes to a complete stop. Or at least it should, but according to the game, the ship is still running at 10 knots. Right, of course it is. Well, she just added like a whole ship worth of armor to her side. But I don't think that's gonna last. T-Bonator flooding again. She's taking aim at the San Luis. The San Damaso is badly, badly hurt, but functional. She's on fire, but she's not flooding. The concern that she probably does have is crew loss. And for the French, that's not an imminent problem just yet. Yeah, some ricochets, but some additional flooding on T-Bonator. If they can hit the San Damaso maybe 3-4 more times, they can get her to surrender. Sort of leveling the playing field. But then again, we still have 2 pretty healthy Spanish ships. Oh, the damaged Gaulois. The sinking Gaulois is absorbing all the fire. Because they don't have an angle, but now they do. And that's the T-Bonator out of this fight. San Luis lost a turret. Did you get that destroyed? What? I think that was potentially the last hit from the sinking T-Bonator that knocked out the main turret of... What was that? Oh, sorry. Yeah, the French are out of ammo. But they did knock out 2 turrets on the Spanish. And San Luis is basically screwed at this point. All she can do is put some pressure with 7-inch guns. She has a 44.8% crew loss on the San Damaso. I don't think she's going to be able to capitalize on that. Because she's getting completely murdered by these ships here. The España, the San Luis. The España has all of her turrets still online. Inflicts a lot more flooding on the French San Luis. Another damaging hit from the Spanish San Luis. Yeah, she's done for. She's listing so bad that her 7-inch guns can't fire anymore. Angle warning. And that's it for the French. That is it for the French. This means the French are out of the tournament. UK and Spain find themselves in the finals. Now in the semi-finals, the UK defeated Spain. Can they do the same thing again? Remains to be seen. Join me next time for the finals. And we'll figure out whether it's going to be the UK or Spain that wins this first tournament. Hope you guys enjoyed the battle. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. And I'll see you soon for more videos.